Okay, I wanted to come on here. I've had this idea, this message rolling around most of today, and so I really wanted to share it. I felt it needed to be shared, it desired to be shared, so here it is. And this was brought about because I'm personally in the midst of a transitional phase in my life, particularly breakthrough. And so, let me get here. When you think of a breakthrough, you know, there's like, what is a breakthrough? It's a barrier, something that you haven't crossed before. And so what is accompanied with a breakthrough? A breakdown. Often disguised as a breakdown, not realizing you're at the midst of a breakthrough. And it is the breakdown of all the things that either can't go with you or that can't pass through, whether that's people, places, and things. But a lot of that is the parts of the self. So maybe it's this new version, this new part of you, but in order to be that part, you have to let go of the things that either maybe mask that part or aren't that part. Yeah. And so that can be, it's not just like a one moment, like, you know, one meltdown, one collapse. It's this like entire like tower moment collapsing, foundation or something built not upon, well, actually just something that can't continue. If you want to move forward, like at this place, at this precipice. And so that happens in these moments, repetition. And it seems like this chaos and this emotional turmoil, but what is it? It's showing us like where the pain is, where the wounds, the emotions, and maybe pointing out these like identities of self and or the false ones, like where we hid the mask, where we wore the masks, or maybe dimmed ourselves. And so all this is coming up to be looked at, to sit with that and realizing like, oh my gosh, this keeps happening. Like I feel like I'm going crazy. This is maddening. But allowing like the pain and the frustration to be a guide and to highlight those parts, like what isn't working, like to finally surrender and be like, okay, what's here? What isn't working? What is this showing me? And in the midst of the breakthrough, it requires the release and the letting go. And not all people will stop before the breakthrough, because sometimes it requires letting go of things that, you know, have been our coping mechanisms, self-soothing, things we became dependent on. And so to go to the other side, it's unfamiliar, it's new. And although it's, you know, more, it's the next evolution of ourselves, of our being, of our lives, that can be really scary and fearful. And so like looking at these things is all the things that may keep us small or keep us here. And so that also feels safe or comfortable. And so not all people choose to make the breakthrough. And some will sit here and find reasons to stay where they are, and then they'll create this, you know, I'm okay where I'm at, da 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 da. These little excuses, next year, next time, or this thing. And then it's not that you just don't choose the breakthrough, you don't choose the growth. Like life continues. And this was just an opportunity, like where you are, what's not working, what's uncomfortable, all this stuff, to shed that skin to move forward. And so like you sit here and choose to stay here because it feels safe and comfortable and familiar. So a lot of times it's not actually safe. It's just kind of comfort zone, fear zone. You're familiar with it. You know what's there, so it's predictable. And that, you know, nervous system. And so But life will continue, and there will be more cycles and layers and such, to where, you know, if there's something that really wants to, like, you keep those desires and things and you want to move forward, like, life will continue to prevail to show you these parts. And so, but yeah, not all people choose the breakthrough. And so, yeah, I guess that's what I want to share. It's just really interesting to me, like, how many times, like, breakthrough, oh my gosh, yes, this precipice, this new concept, this new idea, this new me, this new life. And then, like, usually it's not to the other side. You're like, whoa, that was a major breakthrough. To realize that it's the breakdown is what it's all about. It is the decomposition of the old self, all that stuff. And so, just like in nature, decomposition and decay, it's not a super quick process. And sometimes the surrendering and the identifying and the letting go in this breakdown isn't like instant, and it can happen over time, you know, weeks, months, maybe it's a year, a few years in the making. And so in like cyclical, maybe in layers. And so as this all in all, but when you continue to, goosebumps, when you continue to do the work and like look at the things and let go and love and grow, then you continue moving forward. And yeah, it's interesting. As I'm saying, it's like not all, sometimes you don't even realize there's a breakthrough till you get to the other side. And I feel like I said this, but sometimes you keep hearing breakthrough and then you're like, it's been years. Are you kidding me? Like, what am I even breaking through to? So yeah, really interesting. And that just kept going all day. Breakthrough, breakdown, breakthrough, breakdown, transitions, and how messy it is. And tumultuous, and how it could feel so drawn out. And so, like, are you kidding? We're still here? We're still doing this? And then another wave getting knocked off your, you know, knock you off your feet, and you're in the ocean, like, getting whipped by the waves. And then other times when you surrender, you're kind of under a few feet and you're still like moving with it, but you're in flow with it and you're allowing the process. Oh, so I want to share that. I hope you have a great day. And if you're if you're in a breakdown or decomposition, keep going. Enjoy the process. Maybe this will help you have some gratitude for what you're experiencing, because there's so much happening. And it really is in like the darkest parts and like the biggest trials and tribulations that so much magic is happening. And it's the choosing to keep going, keep going, keep going, trusting, believing that what's on the other side is worth it, or that there is another side. Even if you have no idea what that is or even can fathom that, just know there is more, there is that other side. And maybe that can also add some curiosity. Like, oh, I'm gonna keep going because I want to know what's on the other side, because I'm creating that there absolutely is one, and I know it's gonna be worth it. So, yeah, I love you. Bye.